Hi guys, welcome back to the Player YouTube channel. Today you join me with the Alfa Stelvio Veloce. What a car, absolute stunning car. This Veloce is one of 5 in the Stelvio range. I'll explain all about the others when we get under the bonnet because it has more relevance when it comes to the engines and gearbox configurations. However, let's talk about the car in question. Isn't it beautiful? I love it in this Mizuno or Mazzano blue. It's a beautiful colour, however you pronounce it. Black badges everywhere, really like those as well. Black 20-inch alloys, and see the red caliper in there? That comes with the car as well. However, if you want a yellow version of that, which I think looks better with the blue, it's an extra £450. Don't know why, perhaps the Italians don't like the yellow colour. Anyway, I'm quite happy with either, to be honest with you. Bi-xenon headlights on this car, really lovely, and they're exceptionally good at night, trust me. The running light around the outside, that daytime running light, really nice indeed as well. That's an LED, runs all the way around there. I love the whole look of the front of this car. The new change on that centre grille that Alfa have done with the black surround rather than the old chrome or silver, whatever it was. I much prefer the black. I think the whole thing, this car as a mid-sized premium SUV, really does tick loads of my boxes when it comes to the looks department. Let's have a look under the bonnet and see what you get for your money as far as the horsepower. Bonnet release down here in the driver's footwell. And don't forget, if it's a left-hand drive, it's going to be in the passenger footwell because they're not going to be swapping it around. Even simpler, under here, right dead centre, is your bonnet lever, and it's easily accessible with one finger. And one finger pushes the bonnet up as well because it's got lovely gas struts. It's got 2 types of engine. We've got a petrol 2-litre 4-cylinder, develops 280 brake horsepower, and it has 400 Newton meters of torque. Pull the hind legs off a donkey, this one. There is a diesel option available, if you want one. However, I wouldn't suggest it, I'd stick with that. The diesel is 2.2 litre, develops around about 210 brake horsepower. Yeah, never mind. Top end on this, top speed, is around 145 miles an hour. 0 to 60 for such a big car, believe it or not, is sub 6 seconds. It's around 5.7 seconds. I'm quite impressed with that. Gearbox, 8-speed. Comes throughout the range, and the range is actually 5 different cars, as I mentioned earlier. So the entry level is the Sport, then you have the Sprint, you then have a Lusso, then you have the Veloce, and at the very top of the range you have the all singing and all dancing Quadrifoglio. That's a nice little selection of cars to choose from. However, we need to have a look around this car. That's what's more important. This is the Veloce, and it sits just below that Quadrifoglio. And we'll talk about pricing and all that when we get it out on the road. For the time being, I want to show you around the back, so let's go do it. So before we get right round at the back and have a look there, just check out the lines on this car, how nice this actually looks. It's got that sort of built-in skirt at the bottom there, and it's all sort of really nicely put together. The build quality is exceptional. You can see on the panels here where they all match and they all meet. We actually met the chief designer at Alfa, Scott Kruger, a couple of years ago at the Geneva Motor Show. And if you want to watch that interview that we did with him, click up there now because it's well worth having a look. He's the designer of the new Tonale, which is going to be in the same range as this car. It's going to be really nice when it comes out. Moving swiftly on, lovely LED lights. I love those. Wrap all the way around here, right round to the boot itself. Then you get down at the bottom here, these massive great exhausts. They're not fake. Luckily, there is an exhaust inside there. You can just about see it. But I love the fact you've got those 2 either side. There's a bit of a waste of space here. Got the badge in the middle. I think that just wastes. I love the Q4. Yes, so we mentioned that under the bonnet. Remember Q4? Means it's all-wheel drive. It does its thing. And you get that little badge on this car as well. On the top here where you've got your aero, that's basically gives it a nice place to put your stop tail light in there, which is nice. You've got a lovely tinted rear screen. Again, quite big, but look at the way it sits. It actually sits out of a rubber. It's what I call, a floating rear screen. And it also gives that lovely sharp definition all the way around there. You get a wash wipe, not that you really need it because that aero shoots all the water and the muck straight over the back there. All in all, it's a very sort of rugged looking car. I think it's got a lovely, lovely shape to it. Let's check out inside and see how much space you get though. So the boot release is just under here, next to the number plate. And as you would expect for a premium SUV, electronically assisted. How's that? Right, in here, 550 litres of boot space. I'm going to show you how big that is in a minute. First up, parcel shelf. Well, it's not really a parcel shelf, it's a parcel blind. There you go. Now it's a really nice one. It actually pops, you know, slides back really nicely and it pops out really nicely as well. Very easy to get it out. The only thing is, wouldn't it be nice if you had somewhere to put this? So if you were out and you've got to take it out, you could just slide it underneath, you know, underneath here or somewhere. Sadly, there isn't anywhere to put it. So when you do have to remove it, you're stuck with it really. It's going to have to go on the back seat or in the front, or because there's no way underneath here you can put it. For the time being, I'm going to lay it down here on the side so it's out of the way, because it's more of a hindrance than a help. Okay, so I said 550 litres. Watch this, I'm going to double that almost. Catch here, one, that pushes that side down. It's a 60-40 split. It's a catch here, pull that one, simple as, push that one down as well. Now look at the size of it. It's absolutely huge in this car. I'm going to show you how big, because most people, when they do reviews, they put suitcases in here or golf clubs, even boxes I've seen. I'm putting myself in here because I think you get a better idea. If you want to go away for the weekend and you can't afford to stay somewhere or everywhere's booked, what better place to have a sleep than in here? Look at this, I can actually go to sleep in here. That's how big it is. Now you've got a good idea. I think that's more the way we do things here on the Player. Okay, a couple of things I do like and a couple of things I don't like. First of all, I do like the fact that here is almost, well, there's no lip. It's just a tiny bit of a lip there, but nothing major. The other thing I like, look how high this car is. It's only just above my knee. So if you're lifting something heavy, you haven't got far to go. It's almost like a little deadlift there, isn't it, eh? One thing I do hate on this car, and I mean really hate, is what's under here. Because I was hoping when I removed this, you were going to see the inevitable space saver wheel. No, unfortunately not. However, you can have a space saver in here if you want it for £275 extra. My reasoning behind all this, throw these away because they don't work. You know what this is? This is liquid latex. You pump that in your tyre when you have a puncture, and that's a pump that pumps it up. And neither of them work. They do not work, I'm sorry, no matter what you tell me. I've tried on 2 or 3 occasions. If you've damaged the wheel, they don't work. They might work on a standard tiny little low pressure puncher, but not on a major blowout. They're just a waste of time. So if you got rid of these and you got rid of the silly books that they put in the glove box, you know, those owner's manuals that we don't need anymore because we can find everything out online. In actual fact, in the case of this, you've actually got the owner's manual on the computer. You can access it. I'll show you when we get up front. I mean, it's crazy. So lose all them and don't charge us £275 for a spare, you know, space saver wheel. It's pretty simple, isn't it? Anyway, I'll stick them back. They should go in the bin. They'll go back in here for the time being, because that's where they're going to live for the time being. On this car, you get the premium sound system, so there is a big speaker in the back here. I'll explain about the various packs that you can buy with this car when we get up front. But for the moment, you've got a couple of shopping bag holders either side. There's a 12-volt adapter over there as well for using your pump if you have to. Personally, this would be good for blowing up your lilo that you're going to put in the back here and lie on when you're camping for the weekend. See? And then you've got 2 little LEDs over there that really light everything up rather nicely. And the rest of it, one thing I will mention, the height of this, fantastic for loading. And look at that length in there. That's what I call length. Let's get around the front, in the back there for the passengers. See if it's comfortable and decide whether we're really starting to love the Stelvio. Okay, before I climb in the back here and show you what it's like for the passengers, check out how far this door goes back. It makes getting in and out so easy. It's unbelievable. And another thing I want to show you when I get in the car here, I'm going to pull it too just for a sec so you can see. Look at the size of that window. That's really going to help if you suffer from car sickness in the back here, because it's lower than my shoulder and it's absolutely massive. On top of that, it's tinted all the way around in here, so it's going to keep it nice and cool in the summer. Little things, they all matter. One thing that does bemuses me, I just never understand, Granny's fishnet stockings are back again. They must be back in fashion, so to speak. I don't know why they still put these in cars. There is no point. Back in the good old days when we were kids, parents used to put maps in there or books that we were told to read, which made us inevitably car sick. If any of you watching that, you'll remember those horrible days. These seats have actually been cut to give more legroom, but to be honest, look how much legroom you get, and look how far you can get your feet underneath the seat. Absolutely superb that is. And these seats are really nicely bolstered as well. You get a good ride out of them, sitting quite high so you can actually see out the front as well. All of that goes to cure that horrible inevitable car sickness that you get on a long drive. Unfortunately, you don't get independent heating controls, but you do get a sort of blowy, airy thing that you can move wherever you want. There's a couple of USBs down the bottom here, and that'll keep the kids happy because they can keep their gizmos topped up all the time. So there's not going to be any arguments kicking off in the back. Transmission tunnel is quite low, it's not that high, which makes it fairly easy just to slide across. The other thing, sliding across, the seat belts are recessed so they don't get caught in your belt at the back here. Makes it, again, nice and easy to manoeuvre yourself. In the middle here, I'm actually pleasantly surprised. It is a third seat, definitely. It's a little bit high, but as a lift home from the pub on a lazy Sunday afternoon, you wouldn't say no. You definitely get two adults either side of you as well, but I think ideally it would be best suited for a couple of kids in the back here. You do have the poppy-inny, outy, flippy-uppy Isofix covers here. I think, unfortunately, that's the sort of thing that will get broken by kids fiddling about, or you trying to get your, you know, your kid's seat in there. But apart from that, yeah, you might have to pay for a new set of those at some point. The leather, you know, the leather in here is really lovely as well. It's been really nicely upholstered. That's part of one of those packs that we're going to talk about when we get up front as well. Got a couple of nice LED courtesy lights up the top there. And all in all, it's a very comfortable place to be. In the centre here, you get a pull-down armrest, double cup holder. Unfortunately, there's no ski rack, or the B&Q as we call it here in the UK, because this is all one panel, so this only folds down in one piece. It's a shame that. I think it could have done with that. That would have just finished off in the back here. Anyway, enough said about the back. We need to jump in the front, because this, at the end of the day, is an Alfa, and that is what this car is all about. It's all about the driver. Let's go and have a look. Okay, before I jump up front and see what it's like for the driver, this car comes with what is called the convenience pack, and that gives you electronic front seats, both his and hers, if you like, all leather all the way around, which you've seen, and you also get that keyless entry, which I'm going to show you in a minute. Right, let's jump in, and well, obviously it's an Alfa. It's bolstered beautifully. The seat is in the right position, steering wheel's in the right position. I haven't even adjusted it yet, but everything just feels right when you sit in there. This is that keyless bit I was telling you about that you get with the convenience pack. Also comes with a rather convenient little place to put the key, which sits in there. It's a little, it really fits nicely in there. It's lovely. You can leave your little Alfa badge dangling over there like that. Let's just see about the steering wheel, how much scope we've got with this. There's tons. I mean, it's like flying a plane. Look at it. Fantastic. You can really get that in a position that is perfect for staring at that new digital instrument cluster that's in the middle there. It's analog either side, so you've got your speedo on the right and you've got your rev meter on the left there, and in the centre there, that is your digital bit. And that is accessed, that menu, just in case. There's a wiper stalk here on the end there, there's a menu button, and you can just scroll through that by pushing it once, twice, three times, and it will scroll its way through. Very, very easy to remember that. Okay, before we start on the steering wheel, I'm just going to point a couple of bits out, because I think this is little bits of attention to detail. The unlock and the lock button, you can have it on auto lock, so as you pull away it locks. But when you know, sometimes I've pulled up and I've wanted to, passengers wanted to get out or someone's wanted to jump in. And when you review a lot of cars, you can't always find where the unlock button is. But here on the Alfa, it's so simple. It's where you'd open the door, which is what I'd expect. They've put it up there. You've got memory seating here as well, little buttons. To your left, just inside, as you get in the car, is the lighting button over here. So that's got all your lightings, and you just set it onto auto, obviously, and let it do its thing. It's also got on here your fog lights and bits and pieces. Simple to use, guys. You know what you're doing with those. I don't need to show you that. One thing I do need to show you are these lovely aluminium paddles. And trust me, when you get this car out on the road, stick this into manual, get those paddles working, because it just really is so lovely. Very, very familiar, Ferrari-esque, shall we say. On the right-hand side of the steering wheel, okay, we've got the telephone module, which is simple, volume up and down, again, simple to use. You've got your media scroll left and right, that's over there on the far right side. And then on the bottom left-hand corner, you've got the Ask Alfa button. Now that is basically like Siri or Alexa, and you just push that and tell it, oh, tune to Radio 1 or radio, and it will do it. You can do different bits and pieces. I'm not going to bore you with that. Left-hand side, well, this comes under your driver assistance pack. Again, one of those 5 packs. You've got lane keeper, you've got distance control between you and the other car. You've also got a hill descent control system on here, which is fantastic. So the car will actually, if you get to a steep hill, it's very snowy and that all-wheel drive is kicking in, you can put that hill descent on and it will actually drive down the hill for you, controlling the car by manipulating each of the wheels where the power's going. Simple but very, very effective. You've got the lane keeper, as I said, you've got your cruise control, distance, speed limiter. Another thing you get with that driver assistance pack is blind spot mirrors. You also get the high beam auto dipping, and you get sign recognition as well. That assistance pack is quite expensive. It's an extra 1,500 UK pounds, which for all of that, maybe you'll think it's worth it. I'm umming and ahhing about it because I think you could get away with far less. Okay, let's move across to the middle here. You get a rather decent sized cubby in here. You get a 12-volt adapter down there. You've got a USB, a USB-C, an aux in, and then, which is also part of another pack, you get the wireless charger for your iPhone, which pops in there nicely. I like that. It stops it moving about because it's caught just behind there. It's lovely. Right, it's that time, guys. Let's talk knobs. Yay! Because you know I love a knob. Come on. The reason I love a knob is because all these modern TFT touchscreens, there's nothing wrong with this, but you jump in here, it's freezing cold, you've got your gloves on. First thing you want to do is put the heating on, yeah? Now you don't want to be fiddling about on the screen here. You want to be able to grab a knob and turn the heat up like you can here. Just a couple of decent sized knobs. And in the centre here, you want to be able to turn the volume of air coming out. You want to be able to adjust that with your gloves on. Again, another knob. There's knobs everywhere in here. I'm surrounded by knobs. I love it. Then moving over here, you want to set your tunes up while you're waiting for your car to warm up. And over here, that's your volume knob. That's really cool as well. And you can also scroll left and right with your media on this as well if you don't want to use the one on the steering wheel. It's just thought of everything on here. We'll talk about that big baby knob in a minute. One thing I do want to mention there is a winter pack that comes with this car. And that winter pack gets you a heated steering wheel. So then you can take your gloves off and hold your steering wheel. It's still not as good as holding the knob, trust me. But you get heated front seats, heated steering wheel, and you get heated washer, you know, the windscreen washer thingies. They get warm and they melt the ice and make the window, oh, it's so lovely. Let's talk about that big bad knob on there. It's very BMW, isn't it? I like it though. I mean, this is your main hub. This is where everything from this screen, because now Alfa has really caught up with the times. This is as good as the BMW iCockpit, it's as good as the Audi. It's got everything on here, including the user manual, which I mentioned earlier, which is completely crazy, but relative. Home button there, settings button here, scroll all the way round, scroll left, scroll up, scroll down, does the whole thing. Just simply amazing and well overdue for an Alfa. We really needed that because it's brought it up. Mode button here. Mode means you get sport mode, which, well, I'll tell you about that when we get on the road because that is the best place to demonstrate that, but that's your mode button there. 8-speed auto gearbox, we mentioned that. Up the front here, double cup holder. The only issue with the double cup holder is if you put a big bottle in there or a large cup, you know, one of those large coffee ones, you can't access the heating buttons because it's in the way, which is a bit of a shame. A little bit of a faux pas on the design. I'm sure Mr. Kruger didn't have anything to do with that. 12-volt adapter in here. Yet again, another USB here. There's enough USBs here to charge an army, trust me. On the top here, let's go back to this screen. It's a really nice TFT touchscreen. It's now so up to date, it's unbelievable. So whatever you want is going to be there, and you can just scroll across, or you can do it with your finger. So it's so easy, and everything's here, including the user manual. So that means there probably isn't one in the glove box, which has saved money and time. And let's have a look. Sadly not. We're still getting these. There is no need. They've put it in here. You can get it on your phone. Look, it's a small glove box as it is. That's only taken up. That's there purely for the user manual. What a waste. You could get rid of that stupid puncher thing and get yourself a spare wheel. Save £275. The manufacturers must be able to see that. The finish on this car is ultra premium. I love all this. It's really nice. The way it's all put together, the stitching. But actually sitting here says it all to me. But the most thing that we need to do is get it out on the road because that's really going to finish this whole review off. And I think that's something I can't wait to do. So let's go do it now. Enough waffle. Let's get out on the road. Here we are out in the Stelvio Veloce, and this car is every bit an Alfa. If you've ever driven an Alfa, you're going to absolutely love this car because it really does feel like an Alfa and behave and sound like an Alfa as well. Especially when you put that into the sport mode, the dinamico as the Italians call it. Put it into the sports mode like that, simple, comes up on the screen, drop a gear into the manual. I love it. That's 280 brake with 400 Newton meters of torque in a manual gearbox. Here we go again. Listen to this. Ready? Even had a little kick on the gear cage. Oh my word. This is something else. That's miles per minute. Look at that. Oh, there we go again. And the cows are even looking at me. Right, slow down the gears. Oh, beautiful. That gearbox, that 8-speed gearbox, working I can't even get my words out, effortlessly. Oh, wow, guys, wow. That is just something else. And this is a mid-sized premium SUV. I mean, it's just, competition eat your heart out. You know, the Germans look at this. This is how to set up a car. It's got that sexy Italian feel about it. At the same time, it's a family car, right? So we put it into normal. This is when you got the wife with you, the kids in the back. Just have a normal, just drive through the trees, enjoy. And then when you want to go, you've got the mother-in-law in the back. Economy, down into the A mode, as they call it, comes up on there. And then it goes into economy. Now we're even quieter. We're burning hardly any fuel, and it's so lovely. But then yeah, I'm not going to do it again. It's nuts. I'm going to put it into the normale mode and just continue to do a little bit more about this car before I completely lose all my senses. Economy-wise, let's talk about economy because we just had it in economy mode. Economy-wise, we are getting 26.9 to the gallon around town. But guys, come on, look at the way I've been driving this. I'm having fun with this car. Do you expect it to do any more than that? It's easily going to get up to the 32, 34 that Alfa claim on a run, easily. And I think if you've got it in economy mode, cruise control, it would do probably 34 plus. But you don't buy one of these cars, you don't buy an Alfa, you know, for its economy, you just don't. You buy it because you love cars, because you love the smell of cars, the feel of cars. You know, it's all about that passion of owning something very, very individual. And I've learned that over the years. I love the BMWs, I love the Audis, I love the Mercedes. You can't not love them, but they haven't got soul. This car has soul. It really is. It comes from a background of racing cars, of cars that have put so many smiles on so many faces over the years. And just because this is an SUV, it's nonetheless as exciting as all the others. It really is. It's a proper Alfa. And I wasn't expecting that from this car. I thought, it's going to be a bit slouchy, a bit bouncy, but no way. And now with that new infotainment system, it's right up there. It really has pulled its socks up. So we are now getting into, you know, sort of the realms of the BMW iCockpit, Audi's instrument cluster. Very, very similar and very, you know, almost works exactly the same. It's fantastic. You've got everything at your fingertips in this car. It really does work. And I love those, you know, I know it's an extra pack, but when you think this car is £49,000 on the road, that's your standard entry-level Veloce, and for another £3,000 for those value-added packs, as I like to call them, because as you know, you get those blind spot mirrors, you've got the lane keeping, you've got the distance control, you've got the speed recognition, you've got auto high beam dipping. It's just never ending. And the safety on this car as well, 5-star NCAP rating, you know, and the warranty. I haven't even told you about the warranty yet. Wait till I tell you about the warranty. So here in the UK, there is a new warranty. They're going to extend it, hopefully, throughout the rest of the world. But here in the UK, we've got a 535 offer. That's what it's called, 535. So it's 5 years or 75,000 miles warranty. Then you get a 3-year service plan included in that. And then you get 5 years roadside assistance, should you ever require it. I mean, 535 authorised. Oh, guys, come on. Now we're really starting to talk. I would have liked that 75,000 miles to have been unlimited, but then that's me being greedy as a punter. But I think 5 years, 75,000, it's not bad. Come on. I think that's pretty good value for money. 42 grand entry level, 48 grand this car with all the extras, all the packs you can buy. We are talking a car less than 50,000, £2,000 less than £50,000. Compared to the competition, no brainer. Get down there, give one a test drive, talk to your salesman, discuss the packs. You don't have to spend 6 grand on all those packs. They are quite nice to have, I must admit. There are some really nice bits in there. The theatre surround sound system pack is really nice. Have a look at that one. And I think for convenience, the winter pack, things like that, where you get the heated steering wheel, heated seats and the heated washers. So when you flip your, oh, it's just lovely. Love it, love it, love it. So there's a bundle to choose from, and you can add this and make it your Stelvio. And don't forget, you've got 13 colour choices. I mean, the list goes on and on. You know, leather all round. Oh, just superb. Really lovely car to drive. One tiny little thing I'm going to say before I go. A little bit soft on the brake pads on this, but I've got a feeling, because this is a press car and it's been well used, it could do with a new set of brakes. So I'm not going to hold that against the Stelvio as a whole. I'm not going to, as we say, tar all the Stelvios with the same brush, because I just think it's a little bit, I find a little bit soft. There's no problem with the brakes, they work, but it just feels a bit soft to me. You've been watching me, AJ the Player. I really hope you've enjoyed our review on the Alfa Stelvio Veloce. It's been an amazing car to have for, you know, almost 10 days with my family. And the AJ family have been using this car to the nth degree. Trust me, we have had everything in this car, been everywhere in this car, and we've really given it a good test. And the consensus of opinion was, let's put that in our top 5, because we do like some of the competition, obviously, but top 5 test drives has to be one of these, without a shadow of a doubt. There you go. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget, like, subscribe and comment. If you've got any questions, or you've got something that you think we've missed, or you want to add to this review, stick it in the comment box, because you will get answered, if not by me, by other people who subscribe to the channel. On top of that, please give us a thumbs up if you can, because I don't get bonuses, I don't get paid anymore. But what we do get is a good pat on the back from the bosses and the sponsors to say, job well done, you got a thumbs up. And the more thumbs up we get, the more job well done's, and keeps me in a job. So yeah, I really appreciate that. If you don't think we did a good job, then don't give us a thumbs up. It's as simple as that. I'm not begging. Also, don't forget, we're not just a Player YouTube channel. We don't just do videos. We are part of the Player. This is where you guys can get something for free. And I know there's no such thing as a free meal. There is. We're going to give you something for free. So the Player is a bookazine. Bookazine, you're saying. What's a bookazine? Well, it's a book with a hardback cover that comes out on the frequency of a magazine. There you go. It's called a bookazine. And you can get our Player bookazine, 200 pages of it, for all men content, what guys love, cars, boats, interviews, food, golf, you name it. It's all in there. There you go. It's coming up. You can see me thumbing through the pages now. Have a look at that. You can have the online version completely free of charge on me, because you watch me on the YouTube channel. So all you got to do is go to www.theplayer.co.uk. It's coming up here now. There you go, down the bottom. I'll leave it up for a second so you can memorise it. Nip over there, no data capture. It's just a name and an email, and it's all yours for free. And all you got to do is just fill in, just put your name in, and yeah, you've done it. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Go and fill your boots, guys. Enjoy. It's on me. I will catch you next week with, well, it could be an interview, could be a car, could be a boat, could be a helicopter. I don't know. I get told sort of 2-3 days in advance what we're filming, and away we go. So I can't even sort of slip you the nod, so to speak. But if you leave the bell sign unchecked, you'll get regular updates whenever we put a video up, and it might be something you could be interested in. I'll look forward to catching you next week. Take care. Be safe. Enjoy driving out there, but above all, enjoy your life, guys.